Hey everybody, this is Ian from the Finger Lakes Running Company. I just wanted to touch base with all of you following the Finger Lakes Runners Club's COVID Virtual FundRun to benefit the Finger Lakes Running Company. All I can say is you guys all rock. It was way more, I think, in terms of participation, in terms of support, in terms of meaning than I for sure thought could be possible, that Pete for sure thought could be possible. It was really incredible. There were over 527 registrants or of you that signed up. 400 people ended up submitting results. It was over 14 states and over, I think, at least 2 other countries. And you collectively raised, I think it was like over $15,000 to support the shop going into this and to get through this really tough economic and social time at the moment. I feel very, very fortunate, very thankful for all of you, for your support, for sharing thoughts and sentiments, pieces of your day, to seeing your families get out there. So I guess just getting a snapshot of what the store, I guess, has meant for you and our community over these past 14 years. In terms of direct support, I feel very fortunate. I think when I reached out going into this situation, like most, I really didn't know what was coming. And I think part of what I and maybe all of us have had to learn to do in this moment is to just try to be as, I guess, at peace as we can in this moment with not necessarily knowing what's ahead. For the inspiration for the event at all, for Scott Parr and Eric Egan and many of you up in the Rochester community that supported also your shops, thank you. To the Finger Lakes Runners Club who took this on and with Pete Kresak at the helm, I can't thank you all enough. So as part of this, the Finger Lakes Runners Club was going to also purchase $10, $50 gift cards to the shop. And to those randomly raffled award winners who were Karen Nassan, Stephen Jesh, Sandy Grigorich, Paige Anderson, Jessica Kearns, Ellen Abrams, Mikhail Kern, Tom Popinski, Brian Rahm, and Carol Luthi. Just a handful of you I'm thankful to know as friends, to see what you've done in your community. Individuals like Sandy, who spent a lot of time already with my daughters and bringing them into the running fold and allowing them to enjoy running for running's sake. For Ellen Abrams, the support of your family all along. Mick Kern, for you continually stepping up. Across the board, thank you to that crew. So with those gift cards, we'll credit your account $50 here at the store as opposed to sending hard cards. And for those of you who maybe didn't have an account already, we'll create an account for you here. For the couple of you who even doubled down on your support and said donate those funds back, thank you. So on my end, and as part of the run, for the gift cards, this is where I'll share a little bit about you, the stories that you shared, and in case people along the way couldn't really maybe catch some of the feed coming in. So I'll go in order of how I ran them. And I'm going to start on my fund run. My first stop was the Carriage House up on Stewart Ave here in Ithaca. A wonderful, I think there's co-owners, but in that mix, a wonderful family that has intersected my own family and friends of daughters through the community. And I know the Carriage House is going through a pretty tough time, like a lot of businesses and individuals at the moment. And I think the future is somewhat an unknown. But I just want to say thank you again to the Carriage House for, I guess, what you've meant to me, the time that I spent with my daughters as they were growing up there. And just how darn good your food is, including the scones. So the first $50 gift card is going out to Simon Ingle. Simon, for you doubling down on your support, and I think it was maybe the next day or thereabouts that you headed back up to the Carriage House on your own and maybe for the first time sunk your teeth into some of those scones, and then further got out there with you and Steve Folsom to share some of your own experiences out running, I think it was the Danby Down and Dirty course. So my hope is that maybe you can take Steve or Holly or your family to the Carriage House to also grab some at least scones to go and enjoy them in my honor. Second one, certificate, Dan Cogan. Dan, thank you for your support over the years. And Brian Lee cued me into your Strava track, which I didn't see come in during the event. And for all of you who haven't caught it, which is probably most of you, I'm going to plug Dan's track up here. So Dan, for your mind, for your creativity, for your energy, for your inspiration, that runner track, that's pretty awesome. Nice work on that. So that was really fun to see. My hope is also that this certificate will allow you to sit out there and enjoy some mouth-watering, melting in your mouth scones while you maybe envision the next creative route to share with all of us. So thanks so much. Next stop on the trek was the Coalyard Cafe up there right off of the East Hill Recway extension. I'm forgetting the road name at the moment. I guess I've often arrived there by foot. So a place that has some meaning to me. I shared it a little bit about that in the video, but a personal place, and a personal place that I could meet my parents at. And for my dad, who really very much connects to personal relationships in his communities, where he's had favorite breakfast spots over the years. That's kind of what that place represents for me. So for the first one, first, Steve Desmond, and I'll plug some of these videos back here as well for sharing some of, actually I'll just plug it right now.
Hey, Ithaca, I'm Steve. I'm here on run number 1 of the Finger Lakes Runners Club COVID-19 FundRun. I was really inspired by Ian's little addition of sharing things that he loved about our town and our running community. So I'm coming up on a spot that's really important to me, and I'll share that with you in a minute. There's a little spot called Piglet Corner, and if you know where it is, you know where it is. If you don't know where it is, you're probably never going to find it. So it's one of my nice little hidden secrets in town. So I went to college here at Ithaca College way back. And I remember from the first time I saw this place, I thought it was just this really cool little spot seemingly in the middle of nowhere. I think Ithaca's got a lot of those, but I really like this one. So it's in this big open field, and it's just this lone tree standing in the middle at the very top of a long, shallow peak. And someone decided to put a little sign there and a rope swing. So, I don't know, it's a nice little refuge from everything that's going on right now. So, hopefully on my next couple runs, I'll have another few places to share. See you then.
So thanks for getting out there, for your support, and maybe I'll see you up there at some point. The next one for the Coalyard Cafe, one of you is getting this fine receipt paper right here because they were out of gift cards, which are more like business cards. So it's scratched right here on this receipt paper. So hopefully it works. But this is going to go to Scott Doyle. Scott Doyle, and for your family's support over the years. You took me up on the challenge I put out there during my fund run of going out to find the car in the woods. So nice work finding that car, plugging a photo. My hope is that you and your family can maybe walk up the hill at some point, give some business to the Coalyard Cafe, and just celebrate a really beautiful day just up from and in your neighborhood. Next place on my trip was the Dolce Delight up off of 96 above Ithaca College. One of my favorites over the years. Amazing baked goods. I showed you kind of the sandwich. That's one of my favorites, the Dolce Special in the video, even with the subbing into the croissant. But the first person that this is going to go to is Anina Zolnik Roberts. Anina, I don't know if you and I have met, maybe with you in passing in a stroller at some point, and you're getting bigger. But for the support of your parents all along, but for you, in these photos here, which I thought were some of the cutest photos, for all of you checking it out, Nina's age 3, and on a couple of the run photos was out there running with her baby in arm. So for all of you who maybe don't know, I have 3 daughters, and it becomes very meaningful and personal and a throwback to see you and Nina out there running with your baby in your arms. Amazingly cute. So my hope is that you and your family can make your way up to Dolce Delight. They have a lot of wonderful and fun baked goods, and hopefully you can get something really delicious. So thank you for your support, Anina. Second one for the Dolce Delight is going to go out to the Dawson family. I'll also plug a clip of Scott.
It's Saturday. It is about 9:20, and I'm standing on my front porch ready to start the virtual COVID-19 FundRun to benefit Finger Lakes Running Company. This is something that means something to me because my friend Ian owns the shop. My son works there, and I'm really happy to see the community coming together and doing a benefit run like this while we're all kind of virtually locked down. So we're going to get started. I'm going to take you on a little tour of Trumansburg. It's where I was born, it's where I grew up, and it's where I raised my family. And we're going to also take 2 trips down to the lake level, one down to Frontenac Point, which there's a story, and one down to Ganic Point, where there's other stories. Before we get started, I'll give you a close-up of my bib. My daughter made it. These are custom bibs, one of a kind. And let's run. So I'm a couple miles into the run at this point. I spent a lot of that time thinking about Ian and his store. When we first moved here 17 years ago, Amy and I walked into his location, at the time was on State Street. And I remember we were scoping out our first pair of shoes, and he had all of his running bibs lining the walls. And I can directly tie back to that moment as the reason why we have plastered our home gym walls with our running bibs from over the years.
So thank you to you, Scott, for sharing also some places around your hometown and community that are personal to you, for bringing us a little bit into those for this project, and to your whole family, to Amy and Elizabeth and Xander for your support all along. Probably, I don't know, it's fun to think of you guys. Xander is now working, Xander and Elizabeth are now working for the Finger Lakes Running Company, and I guess it should make me feel pretty old, but also thankful that we've been in business for a little over 14 years. Xander, I forget, you're maybe 15 or 16 at the moment. So I would think that as far back as your memories go, that you've been coming in with your family, getting shoes and supporting the store here. So it's pretty wild to be this far in and to now, I think, have you as a very valuable team member. I'm thankful for all of you, and I'm really looking forward to keeping the shop going and moving into this next generation. So hopefully you can go up there as a family. Amy's a baker, so hopefully you'll find and connect with some of their fun baked goods up there as well. So thank you. Next stop on the trek was CTB. Ithaca Bakery and CTB. I think probably personal connections for a lot of us here in Ithaca. I think one of my earlier connections was to Ann Browse, and being, I think, her in teaching one of my courses up at Ithaca College, and really just being a local institution. For Gregor, for your support all of these years for Red Newt races, as well as the shop, thank you. I'll try to continue to do my part and going in there and getting my fixes of Sweet Rachel's. And so for these going out to, First one is going to go to Steve Ryan. Steve Ryan, thank you for your support all these years. And you also took up the challenge of going to find that car in the woods near Ithaca College. Having your partner in running crime out there, Bob Congdon, who also came up in my video. It's a small world. Thank you to you guys for getting out there. My hope is that after a run or a shuffle for you guys, you can stop in at Ithaca Bakery or wherever and just talk some shop and yeah, enjoy an afternoon together, as you often do. So thank you to both of you. Second one for Ithaca Bakery and CTB is going to go to Marie and Sophie Fitzsimmons. Thank you also for sharing some of your experience out there on the run.
Soph and I are out on the road for the COVID-19 run. Really happy to be out here on Burnt Hill, one of our favorite places when the trails are too mucky. And Ian, we want to say thank you for all you've done for our running community. As a coach, the things that you did for my team when I was coaching cross country will always stay with me. You gave us so much support. You taught my kids a lot about the world of running. You gave us great deals on running shoes. You really looked out for us. When I was in Namibia, you donated running shoes for my team. Meant a lot to us. And of course, our family has just enjoyed so many of your running events, and your devotion to the world of running means a lot to us. So we're out here running.
For the connection that we've had in supporting one another over the years, thank you. So hopefully this also will find you two continuing to bond, maybe post-run, stop in the shop at some point and maybe head over to the Ithaca Bakery or just for a nice morning together on the waterfront trail. Thank you for your support. Next stop up was Tamarind on 13. Really wonderful Thai and, as they say here in the card, Asiatic cooking. This is going to go to the first one to Brian Lee. Brian, for the support of you and your family also over the years, and also for you as part of this project, also coming up with a pretty awesome configuration. For those who didn't see it in the posting earlier, on his Strava log and his GPS track log, he spelled out FLRC in several spots. So pretty awesome. I'm thankful for all the time that we're continuing to have as friends, training partners, and maybe we can join each other as company post-run for lunch run, dinner run, one of these days once things are rolling again. Second one of these is going to go to Doug Turnbull. For those of you who also didn't catch it, you may have seen that Doug came up just a little bit lame. We'll watch the finish clip here. So close, so close. Kind of like Pre in the 1972 Olympics. Stumbles before the finish and just can't take it. Brian Olmstead is often, as he does, taking the glory out there. And Ofer right behind, finishing in a close second. To Ofer and Gilly and Doug and Megan, the four of you and your families over the years, thank you so much for your support. You've been huge, and I'm very thankful for it. So hopefully one of these times when it's also rolling, maybe we can all get together for some food and connection also at Tamarind. So thanks for the support all these years during the event, and a pretty awesome and inspired finish clip. The last place that I visited on my trek was Purity. I'm in the Purity building as I'm filming right now. I'm thankful that Purity is reopening. They're going to have their to-go carts, scooping ice cream with Heather and the crew starting tomorrow, Thursday the 21st. So for those of you who are about to get these certificates, they're back in action. So for the first one, it's going to go to Leah Kellerson. Leah, surely I didn't get out and run a 1.9 mile fundraiser run at age 2. That's pretty impressive. To mom and dad and brother, your support over the years and connection, and Amanda, knowing that what Purity's meant to you personally, and as your family over the years. Hopefully that makes it all the more meaningful. So Leah, I hope that you can make good use of this certificate. Come down, get a scoop, remember the day, and maybe stop in to say hi, because I always love seeing you guys. So nice work, and thank you for your support. And the last one is going to go to Evie Teeter. Evie Teeter, thank you also for getting out there. I forget how old you are at the moment. I think you're like 3 or 4, maybe as well, or somewhere in that ballpark. It's been wonderful to see you grow up so far as you are. A beautiful, beautiful young lady, and for the support of your parents along the way. It was really fun to see the photos of you running out there with your mom and your dad. And you did an awesome job, and you were no doubt an inspiration to many who see you out there. So I know you've got another sibling on the way here pretty soon in the next couple months. That makes for a big summer for you. So hopefully you can head over to Purity, grab some ice cream. My favorite, if you want to check it out or try it, is bittersweet. And I kind of like it in milkshake form. So if you want to go all in, have your parents get you a hurricane milkshake with maybe bittersweet and some cookies mixed in there. And then maybe you can come over and share half of it with me. So to all of you who made this fund run what it was, I hope that you never have to run a COVID fund run again. I hope that we all emerge from this as a community. I'm going to do what I can to value your support, your investment in the store and in our community. Part of the funds is going to go to helping to get us online in an e-commerce platform to make us maybe a little bit more stable going forward. And we'll just keep on. So thank you again, Finger Lakes Runners Club. If you're not already a member, check them out. A lot of good potentials available with the club. They give back to the community in their own in many ways. A lot of connection. They put on wonderful events also, which are taking hits this year, so they could use your support. And then also really just community and running support programs. I've really valued the indoor workouts that they have these past couple winters in Barton. And then everything that you guys and gals all do for the community. So thanks so much. I will sign off here, and hopefully I will see you out on the roads, the trails, or here in the shop. All right. Thanks again. See ya.